wussification of America.
The wussification of America.
The wussification of America.
I just think people are soft in this country.
How are we breeding the next generation of leaders when everyone is so soft and weak?
We are wimping down. We're wussifying American men.
Our culture today is trying to completely demasculate all of the young men.
The deconstruction of America begins with and depends on the deconstruction of American men.
Over the past few years, we've once again heard a rising chorus of voices decrying the so-called wussification of America.
Men who are heterosexual, strong, aggressive competitors are no longer an acceptable part of society. Not really. They're the problem.
You go to college campuses now and you'll find classes on how to take masculinity out of men.
And as in the 19th century, we've seen these fears play out on the stage of football.
What does the NFL stand for? Masculinity, strength, toughness. I don't want it to be taken over by a bunch of wusses.
Used to see these tackles, and it was incredible to watch, right? A violent head-on-head, violent. Now they tackle. Oh, head-on-head collision. Bing, flag. Football's become soft like our country has become soft. It's true.
But while these defenders of the old masculine order have been wistfully pining away for the manly men of days gone by, they've forgotten to mention one crucial fact, that the impervious image of manhood that the NFL has been promoting for decades is a complete and total lie.
Get ready, ready to be hit, crushed, squeezed, and mashed into curious shapes.
The National Football League has been great at glamorizing the hard hits.
As the players became bigger, stronger, and faster, the game became increasingly hazardous, and therefore even more exciting for player and spectator alike.
The seemingly superhuman toughness of the quote-unquote real men who play the game.
You can't hurt this! I'm a machine, jerk!
But they've left out the physical costs.
When I would hand the ball off and I would watch a guy go into the pile, what you hear and what you see, you wonder how guys are coming out of that. It sounds like a car accident.
Not just the soreness on Monday, but also the careers cut short and the lifetime of crippling injuries. The league doesn't want us to think too much about what the players' union once said, that the NFL is the only profession with a 100% injury rate. Or what a former player once told me, that to play NFL football is to skip middle age. You go straight from being young to being old.
I have this atrophy. I'm starting to look like a skeleton, and it's just this right hand alone. But I have this throughout my body.
Or the fact that the average player's career lasts only 3.5 years.
And for the rest of our lives, we're going to be dealing with some of this stuff. The injuries don't go away.
Their pain doesn't either. I don't know how many surgeries I had since passed. 4 knee surgeries, fused neck, then another surgery, then another surgery.
There's consequences to what you do. And I knew when I signed on that more than likely someday I would have some problems. I didn't realize the extent of those problems. It takes me forever to get dressed. It takes me forever to do simple things like put your shoes on. I've had issues with pain medication. I think that is a problem that a bunch of ex-players have. I'm not sure it's talked about as much as it should be.
The fact is, the NFL has systematically tried to keep all of these realities out of view.
Some of the nation's toughest athletes, pro football players now retired, are suing and claiming a secret world of deception by the league, where powerful painkillers were handed out like candy, encouraging players to play with broken bones and agonizing pain.
We now know the league spent decades pushing drugs on NFL players to mask their pain, causing irreparable damage to their bodies and brains. But that's not the mythology embodied by the Shield. The NFL has built its brand on being the ultimate blue-collar working man's game. But despite the nice stories they tell to burnish their brand's appeal with working people, their values are corporate through and through and all about the bottom line. As Tex Schramm, an original president and general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, said famously during the 1987 players' strike, "The players are cattle and owners are ranchers, and owners can always get more cattle."
It's almost like a cattle call where you'd have 20 to 25 guys standing with your pants half down, waiting in line for a doctor that's got 100 different syringes lined up, and you're walking through, they're sticking you one at a time as you walk in and out.
Our players were shot up like cattle, They were brought to market and then discarded like pieces of meat.
And most egregiously, they don't want us to think about the devastating brain injuries that NFL players have been suffering for decades, what is known as CTE.
CTE is increasingly recognized as a potential risk for athletes participating in contact sports, such as American football.
To Adams. Ooh, he got popped in the face. Oh, my mouth guard comes out, and they're asking for help right away. CTE gradually interferes with normal brain functioning and may lead to changes in behavior such as impulsivity, explosivity, and violence, changes in mood such as depression and hopelessness, and cognitive changes such as memory loss and cognitive decline.
He was exceptional, a 4-time Pro Bowl safety, number 22, a 2-time Super Bowl champ.
This one's for Giles, intercepted by Dorson.
Teammates say Dave Durson was also exceptionally smart and kind, which is why they were shocked when last week the 50-year-old killed himself with a gunshot to the chest. He sent a text message to his ex-wife hours before.
He told me he loved me very much, and he was truly sorry, and that he loved the kids, and that he felt there was something wrong with his brain on the left side, and for me to please get it to the NFL.
There is no helmet that will protect a player from this any more than there's a special cigarette, no matter how big the filter, that won't give you cancer. And speaking of cigarettes, we now know that NFL executives, like the tobacco industry before them, were saying for years that the science was inconclusive while hiding their own secret studies that said otherwise.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell wouldn't acknowledge a link between violent hits and brain disease.
I just asked you a simple question. What's the answer?
The answer is the medical experts are no better than I would with respect to that, but we are not treating that in any way and delaying anything that we do.
The study's author also testified the findings don't prove a link between playing football and mental problems later in life.
Those numbers may or may not indicate an elevated risk from a career playing football. We can't draw a conclusion.
The bottom line is that the NFL has been more concerned with managing the damage to their brand than the damage to their players' brains and bodies. Meanwhile, in an indication of just how closely people have come to identify the NFL with American manhood itself, even the most minimal and inadequate reforms designed to improve safety have been interpreted as a sign that American men and America itself are under attack from the forces of feminization and that the NFL of old is being ruined.
As a fan myself, I watch football because I want to see really tough dudes go to war with each other on the gridiron. Yet now I'm told that, you know, one collision is, you can't hit anybody anymore. How much of it also is the fact that NFL is getting pretty soft?
It's a more feminized, softer NFL. Why don't they just put away the pigskin, Greg, bring out the Nerf ball, play in a bouncy castle, or something, you know, less violent?
Something tells me, Gavin, that you think football, you should let them hit each other.
Of course you should. It's the American way.
Yeah.
Oh, concussion, schmushin, they ought to call it.
Yes, you get bonked in the noggin?
Sure, that's life.
We don't go by these new and very much softer NFL rules. Concussion, up, up, got a little ding on the head. No, you can't play for the rest of the season. Our people are tough.
Guys like Donald Trump don't want us to think about the injuries and health issues NFL players suffer from.
Penalty marker on the play. They're going to say he hit a defenseless receiver.
And they certainly don't want us to ponder the fact that these reforms were pushed by players themselves.
The NFL is attempting to make the game safer, implementing new concussion rules. Players say they have been fighting for this for a very long time. Some say it's too little, too late.
People like them have so much more to gain professionally and politically by standing up for so-called real men than the actual men who play the game, and by creating the illusion that these reforms are a symptom of a country gone soft because of feminists and social justice warriors.
The social justice warriors are coming in here trying to legislate the game based on their own personal political preferences because the NFL has direct roots to masculinity. It is all man. It is a man's game. And that's what all the focus on the meanness is and the injuries. The left has hijacked this game.